Yeah, Kai and Mary, Attorney General Anthony Brown says that the company, the owner and the operator of the Dali should have known the cargo ship itself wasn't seaworthy, outlining in this 50-plus page complaint that the ship lost power multiple times before it even left the port of Baltimore. And that's why they say that the catastrophic collapse of the Key Bridge could have been prevented, and that's why they want the companies to pay.
The collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge on March 26th is a scene many people will never forget. 6 construction workers killed, wreckage splayed across the bow of the cargo ship with more than 4,600 containers on board. The Port of Baltimore nearly shuttered.
We cannot forget everything that the Dali was responsible for us losing that morning.
As recovery begins, so do lawsuits. The state of Maryland taking the Dali's owners and operators to federal court.
Grace Ocean, Limited, and Synergy Marine failed, and their failure resulted in one of the most catastrophic and preventable maritime disasters in Maryland history.
The complaint includes results from an investigation Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown says shows the companies were negligent. According to the filing, the ship had 2 electrical power failures on March 25th, the day before the Dali left the Port of Baltimore. Not only does Brown say the companies ignored those failures,
they failed even to inform the U.S. Coast Guard, as the law required, or to warn the pilots who boarded the Dali to help it leave the Port of Baltimore. Instead, they told them everything was fine, but all was not fine.
Hours later, March 26th, the Dali embarked on its journey, but catastrophe was mere minutes away. Video shows the lights flickering again before going dark on board, and then the Key Bridge collapsed.
But because of the stunning mismanagement, disinterest, or incompetence of the owner and operator of the Dali, those backup systems failed. They failed to make sure the ship was seaworthy.
The complaint points to this image depicting an improvised rig to try and soften vibrations from one of the Dali's transformers. Those vibrations so severe that an independent electrical testing contractor refused to conduct testing on the transformer and switchboard due to safety concerns. According to the complaint, the state's lawsuit comes as a slew of others stack up against the companies, including from the U.S. Department of Justice. Governor Wes Moore says he's still working with lawmakers on Capitol Hill to fulfill President Joe Biden's promise of the federal government footing the bill to rebuild.
Given the next 6 weeks leading up to the election, are you concerned that there will be delays in this effort to get the federal government to fund this, and then we'll be in a situation where it's January and we don't have any progress and it continues to push more and more and more down the road, and potentially a new administration comes in?
You know, we continue to stress that this is bigger than politics. This is bigger than an election cycle. This is bigger than partisan differences. This is about Americans' economy. This is about our national supply chain.
2028 is the target date for the bridge to be fully rebuilt. Any money recovered in the lawsuit would then likely backfill what's been spent.
Taxpayers will not bear the burden of the cost of recovering from the damage and the destruction done by the owners and the operators of the Dali.
Brown says he and his team, including outside law firms, are ready for a lengthy court battle.
We are not interested in delay in this matter. We are interested in getting to trial sooner rather than later.
So far, the Dali's owners and operators have yet to comment publicly on the latest round of litigation.
Now, unlike the DOJ's lawsuit, the state's lawsuit does not have an actual dollar amount attached to it. Instead, it's seeking damages for several things, like the impacts on the environment, the cleanup costs, rebuilding costs, the impact on the Port of Baltimore, lost tolls, impacts on other infrastructure, and many more details. AG Brown says the actual dollar amount will likely come out as this lawsuit unfolds. Live in the newsroom, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.